Woo! Hello, Craftin buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. Oh, I guess you can't see that because I got a little bit of a mess going on here. Welcome. It is 11:59 p.m. Friday, August 29th here in Wisconsin. And I made it on just barely before midnight. Well, let me turn down the volume on my iPad. We'll see if anybody joins me live. If there's any comments. I've been going in and out the door, getting things ready for this vendor market fair thing that we've got tomorrow. And if you see me distracted or not paying attention, or if you hear a slap like that, there are a couple of mosquitoes that snuck in the house, and there's one flying right in front of me. Hopefully it won't get in our projects, and hopefully it won't bite me. So welcome anyway. All right, a couple of quickie announcements. We're almost done with this August promotion. Stampin' Up! Is having 15% off the in-color products from the 2025 to 2027 collection. I am actually offering a bonus for those that order at least $35 worth of product. So that's before tax and shipping. So if you order at least $35 worth of any product from me, I will gift you this full-size cloud cover ink pad that is not available for purchase from customers. Only demonstrators could order it and purchase it rather, because some of the batches had a color shift Stampin' Up! Wasn't happy with, so they didn't want to release it to customers, but they released it to the demonstrators. We can't sell it, but I can gift it to you. So make your purchase before the end of day on August 31st, and you might be one of the ones that gets a full-size stamp pad from me. And we have on the 6th day from now, this catalog goes live. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog until September 3rd, but once September 3rd rolls around, guess what I'm going to be doing? We're going to be flipping through this, I think. And I have a couple of ideas of things that I want to do for that day. Also, Stampin' Up! Has announced that they are changing the packaging for photopolymer stamps. They're going to be in the same size package as the dies come in. There's going to be artwork for the dies. They're going to be a little bit bigger. And the red rubber cling stamps are going away, as are the markers that are typically used to color the red rubber stamps. So a few changes going on there. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it because this packaging is going to save a lot of room in my crafting space. This is a sneak peek of something that's going to be with the online exclusives. And look at how slimline those are going to be instead of the DVD cases. I know some people are disappointed that you're not going to be able to see the spine on here and see what it is, but quite honestly, I'm usually cranking my head to see the side, and then I have to pull it out because these pictures are so small anyway. And when I tip my head to get my bifocals going on, I may as well just look at the front of the case. So, oh, the other thing is, you probably can't see this, but there's just going to be a single slip-in tab. So I think that's going to be a very nice change. So, I didn't really have a plan for tonight, so I'm just going to kind of go over a couple things from our recent nights. So 2 nights ago, I did this, and I put the Stampin' Die set away. It is the Branching Out stamps and dies. So I use this biggest die and then the third one in to do these labels. I modified this with the smallest die. I made it smaller, and we made this cute little bag, or it could be done into like an ornament. And we used a lot of these little die cuts in there. So that was from 2 nights ago. Then last night, we had a little Mod Podge thing going on, and I made these 2 little door hangers. We did them 2-sided so that they won't be ugly bare wood on the back. And I had mentioned to those that had joined me, don't let me forget about the ribbon. And everybody let me forget about the ribbon. So this is basic beige, the basic beige ribbon, all right? Believe it or not, oh, I don't think that's the right one. There's two of them. Here it is. I thought I had one open still. It's probably buried. But there's this basic beige ribbon, and I colored it with the Pretty Peacock alcohol blends, and then I doubled it and made a double bow. But I forgot to put those on last night before we were done. And then when I posted the project to my Facebook page, I also forgot to put the bows on. So I added pictures with the bows on because I think the bows on there really kind of make a difference. So those are just a couple of little quick and easy non-card things that you can make. So if you want to know how those were done, check out my video from last night. And along with that video, I had shown a frame piece that I was working on, and it's going to be for a baby gift. So this is just a, you know, like the thin craft wood, excuse me. And I put Mod Podge on that, and I found some old paper and did some hearts and an old sentiment, and a picture of a beautiful new baby is going to go in there. And then I kind of decorated the back as well. So that will get finished tomorrow with the baby picture. So for tonight, I was going through my stamps, checking out some old ones that I can pass along tomorrow at this vendor fair if people are interested. And let me turn on another light. There we go. I came across this one, and I typically hang on to the $1 Million Achiever stamp sets because they're usually pretty good. And so I kind of have a collection of those. But I thought, you know, I thought this one was retired. But I think it was just the bundle that was retired because each item is still individually available. I don't know if they're in the newest catalog. I haven't looked, but they are available online. So if nothing else, they are in the online exclusives. So what I thought we would do is use this, which is an old item. And these are the colors I thought I would go with. So let me kind of share with you what my train of thought is. Excuse me. So I have these Snowy Delights decorative masks that I have not used yet. And they look pretty amazing. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to work with those a little bit. And I have been doing some traditional and some non-traditional 12 days of Christmas sort of things since I started counting down on the 12th day for when the catalog gets released. So today is 6. We've got on the 6th day from today. So we'll have the 30th. No, today was the 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we'll be on the 6th day. So I thought I would do non-traditional colors, and I picked out Pretty Peacock because I had these labels already cut out. So I figured I wouldn't have to cut them out again. We're going to do a little embossing on there for the sentiment. So with the Pretty Peacock, I looked at the color coach and saw, I take that back. I was looking at Lost Lagoon first because I knew Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock would go together. So let me pull out Lost Lagoon instead because that gives you what I'm actually looking for. So there's a lot of combinations, but these are just some suggestions. So if I go Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Crumb Cake, those are the 3 that I picked out, all right? And then I thought it would be nice to have kind of a bright color too. So on this same Lost Lagoon palette, if you will, Berry Burst is on there. So we may or may not do something with Berry Burst, but I thought this combination It's not a combination that I would have thought of. You know, we've talked about that before if you've been with me, that, you know, if I look at the Color Coach combinations, these are not combinations that I would normally think of to put together. So I think that's a really great tool, as well as this color wheel that's available. So anyway, let's move these off to the side. I have 3 card bases because I'm not sure which one will like better. All right, so I've got the crumb cake, and I already scored it at 4 1/4, my whole 8.5 by 11 sheet, of course, because I want to score once and cut once. I have a little bit of debris there. So I scored it 4 1/4 and cut it at 5 1/2, and I have 2 card bases ready to go. All right. So then we've got our Lost Lagoon. So I'm just going to kind of get these ready, and we'll see where we land. And then this one, I scored it 5 1/2. So I scored it across here first, and then cut it at 4 1/4, so we could do a card like this if we wanted. So we'll just have to see how it looks. So if you're with me live, feel free to chime in. Feel free to make some suggestions. I thought I could have used this, and I might still be able to. This is actually a balmy blue. This is a new ribbon that's gorgeous. It's very shimmery. Hopefully you can see that. I wasn't sure if it would work with this, but I think it will because it's so very sheer. So we'll see. We might use that. But I think the first thing that I'll do is maybe the sentiments, because I want to emboss those. So I've got hot cocoa, and I'm going to take this heart off of here for now. This calls for hot cocoa. Okay. And I think I want to put those on one stamp because I think it's just going to be nicer if I can gather those on one stamp, since I'm going to emboss these in the bright white. I think that's what it's called, these whites. Yeah, opaque bright white. That's what I'm going to use to emboss on this, just because it's going to stand out nice, of course. All right, so let's see. Hopefully that looks straight enough, but I think if I do this like this, if it's a little crooked, nobody's going to notice. And I don't do coffee, so for me to do, oh, I do eggnog. But like peppermint spice, a lot of those usually have coffee in it, but hot cocoa is kind of my winter drink if I'm not drinking chai tea. So let me get my embossing buddy here. And we're just gonna reduce any static that might be on here. And then we're going to put some Versamark on this sentiment. I probably should have done 2 right away. Let me get another one here. I'll get my embossing buddy again. I think this is actually the embossing buddy I misplaced, because this dark one was one that I always had up at my crafting table. So I don't know where my other one is still. All right. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to put a little bit more Versamark on here. And it's kind of my MO, but I didn't prep one of these ahead of time, so whatever it is, it is. All right, so that inked up pretty nice. Now this is, Versamark's a pretty slow drying ink, so I hopefully will be okay getting both of these prepped. And then let's get a little tray here. Sometimes I dump it in the tool tray here that came with the embossing tool kit, and sometimes I just put it right back in the little bin. I just like having an easy reach instead of pouring it out of the jar. So I just pour the whole jar or 2 or 3 in there. All right. That looks pretty good. There's one little spot here. I need to be careful. It's out there. I don't want to mess up the whole thing, you know. I have to redo it. Hello, Mama Juju. Welcome. We're doing a little bit of embossing and who knows what else. All right, so let's warm up the old heat gun. We're using a stamp that I thought was retired that isn't. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hold this in my reverse tweezers. Yeah, adulting is hard, isn't it? I should be in bed because I have to get up early tomorrow for a vendor fair. My husband and my granddaughter both were helping me get things loaded. But I wasn't quite ready with some things, so I had to load the rest myself. Well, my husband would have helped if I would have asked him, but I didn't. And I like to heat my embossing powder from the back because then I can see how it changes? If I have my heat gun on top of it, I can't see that. So I like to heat from the back. All right. So I think we're done with that part. Hopefully that'll work out. I don't know if we'll need this one or not, so I'm just gonna set that one off to the side. Now, we are going to stamp, let's see if crumb cake is dark enough. We might need to get the early espresso because I want to do the little coffee cup. I think that'll work. Maybe not. See if I can fit that in there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like early espresso better for the cup. So let me, oh, we could probably do the foam or the whipped cream in crumb cake. Let me go grab the early espresso because I think that'll look better for the cup. Figures that I wouldn't have all my colors handy. So I am just gonna stamp on the back of there. And since crumb cake is a lighter color, I didn't even bother to wash off my stamp. That'll be better. All right. So we can close this up. Well, I hope you're getting enough rest there, Mama Juju. I think I get just enough. All right, I had a heart somewhere. There it is. It's on my foam. I think it's a little dusty. That didn't want to stick. All right, so I'm going to put a little heart right on our cocoa cups here. And we are going to die cut those out. This calls for hot cocoa. We could have die cut too. Oh well. So I need my whipped cream and my cup. There's a heart too. All right, let's get our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out here. And let's just start cutting some of these things out here. Oh, I'm going to have to trim this down. I wasn't thinking that it's too wide. It can't be wider than 3 inches for this little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Thinking I have the wrong plate on the bottom. I want my ugly one on the bottom. One that takes all the cuts. So it looks like this is going to cut it pretty close to the edge without a big border. See that? Isn't that cute? I haven't used this one for a while. I figured it was about time, since it's not retired after all. I do that sometimes, you know, Stampin' Up! Will give us a list and say, okay, this is going to be on the last chance list. And it's basically like the bundle. Not like the individual pieces are, but the bundle is not going to be available anymore. So if you want the discount buying it a bundle, you want to do it when it's still available. Because you save 10% if you buy a bundle. Which is just the stamp and the dies, or the stamp and a punch, if that's what the bundle is. And who doesn't want to save money? You know, even if it's just a couple of bucks. I figure that's a couple of bucks I could spend on something else, right? So this has a lot of little pieces. I mean, this die set, it's got 23 dies in it, and I should probably write that on here. I usually try to do that, so I can kind of do a head count. All right, so we have our little coffee cups, and now we'll do our little frothy foam here, our whipped cream. So I think that must have been here. I actually made, I should go get it because I still have it. I made like a little cup caddy. I don't remember who I saw the idea from. We actually had done it at a team swap, and I thought it was cute, and then I changed it up a little bit. Decorating, I put more DSP on it, and I thought it was so cute. Maybe I should find my instructions again and make that one of these nights, since this set is still available. I'm gonna go grab that quick. Isn't that cute? Put your little K-cups in there with some little circles or whatever, you know, leaves, pumpkins. We did this as a fall one. But when I did my non-swap, this was from the swap. When I did my non-swap one, I actually put DSP here and on both sides of these flaps also, because I thought it just looked more finished to me that way. So maybe I'll do that one of these nights. All right, one more and we'll be done. We'll be done cutting. I think that's all I'm cutting. We'll see. And again, I'm trying to be careful lining it up because there's not much of a border, which I kind of like. Oh, and last night I forgot to show you guys. My granddaughter wanted to do a video, and we didn't really have time. We were doing other things, and she needs to get to bed a little bit earlier than she has been all summer because school starts in a few days, so she's got to get back in the routine. But she had seen, I just got one of those mosquitoes that was flying around. She had seen the Halloween cards that I had done some time ago, and I had this base here with this darling duckling where I had put the moon with a mask. She saw that and she's like, oh, I want to do this. So here's the card she made. She's going to give that to her mom. And this is what I did with the sentiment on the front of it. And she wanted to cut them out and put them on the inside. And I thought she just did a really cute job on that. So she was sitting at her crafting desk, and I could hear her kind of narrating, pretending that she was doing her own little video. So I thought that was pretty cute. All right, I think we can put these away because I'm not going to do anything else with those. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of, oh, I got that a little crooked. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting, I think, with some of this foam. Or cream, whipped cream. It's probably whipped cream, huh? You can tell I don't do the coffee shops that often. And when I have my coffee in a card, the gal that does the coffee at Katz, I do a chai tea. And I tell you, she does a really good job on it. It's really yummy. So I don't drink coffee. I've never liked the taste of it. I love the smell of coffee. But it's probably just as well because I can't do the caffeine. So I don't even know if I'm doing these all the same, but I'm just trying to do a few little highlights here. So it looks more realistic. There. And then maybe we should do the dark. I know these cups are usually maybe I should have done the band because the cups are usually lighter, right? So I'm just going to do these and let's blend them. Maybe there too. Because if you want to mix the colors, you want to do it when they're kind of still wet. And then as it dries, those colors just kind of meld together. We'll see which one we like best. I never used to care for coloring very much, but when Stampin' Up! Got these blends and I kind of figured out how to use them, I really like them. Now a lot of people will do the light color first, then come in with the dark color, and then go back with the light color. I do it both ways. Sometimes I do the light color first, sometimes I do the dark color first. I don't know that it makes that much of a difference. But the alcohol from one to the next is what kind of pushes it around. And then there's also a color lifter. So like here, there's just a little bit that went outside the edge on both sides. I could get my color lifter, and it's not really a lifter. I consider it more to be a color pusher. So when you, and this doesn't have a very big edge, but when you put it on there, it actually pushes the color away from where you're putting this color lifter, because this doesn't actually add any color. Maybe you can see that there, and I'm just dabbing it on, but because the alcohol is wet, it's pushing it in the direction kind of how I'm coloring there. So I don't know if I can actually get this to go in. But when you use the alcohol blends, you want to make sure you use the Memento ink. Or like here, because I use the early espresso, you run the risk of having it, yeah, mess with your lines, blur it. It'll blur the lines if you're not careful. So I just don't spend a whole lot of time. Like you can see here, it blurred that a little bit, but I'm not really too worried about it. All right, so we're done with these. And I'm going to have to do a new little name tag there because I just put more there. Bleed, that's what I was looking for. It makes the colors bleed. See, you're awake, Mama Juju. All right, let's clean these off and get them out of the way. And then let's go ahead and start doing some snowflakes. Because I thought what we would do is put our little mugs on here. So those will go like that. All right. And then we're going to have our, maybe I should cut out some of those hearts in the berry burst with the die. That might work. But I thought I would do, oh, there's a mosquito. I'm not sure if I got him. All they're going in and out the doors. A whole bunch of mosquitoes came in. So anyway, I thought on our card bases we would use white and that we would do these decorative masks. Oh, I'm going to have to move this washi tape I see. And I decided to use my Stamparatus, which obviously it's not available anymore, but if you've got a positioning tool, I lined it up so that when my mask is in the corner, I just tape my piece down so that it's kind of centered. I guess it's not. It needs to be a little bit further this way. Just a little bit, just a smidge. Let's see if that's better. Yeah, now it's probably a smidge too far this way. I just can't win. All right, so if we go there, like it or not, that's going to be centered. That's pretty good there. All right, so let's start with our light color first, at least for this one. So I'm going to start with the crumb cake. Now, when I use my Stamparatus, I can either put my ink right on here or I can put it on the mask. It doesn't really matter. Normally, I would use a piece of scrap paper to kind of dab off the harsh edge of the color. But if I'm coming in from here, it doesn't matter. And then once my brush, ooh, that got kind of dark there. Once my brush gets a little more wet from the ink, and as I'm leaving more ink down there, I can just pick up some of that ink and finish off the mask. So I've got it dark on one side and lighter on the other. So we'll pretend that was all intentional to have it more dark on the one side. All right. Pretty. So now I think we're going to go with the Lost Lagoon. Let's close this up. Lost Lagoon here. And I didn't practice with these, so, you know, if we don't like the colors, we can always change them. Now, there had been a stamp set on the pre-order that demonstrators were able to order from. And there were some dies too. And I think it might have gone with these masks, but I don't think I ordered them, so I just didn't order today. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like it with just a little bit of crumb cake behind there. All right, so let's do, we're going to do Lost Lagoon, or we're going to do the Pretty Peacock. Normally, I would use the same color and let the masks, let it get darker and darker. But I'm using all of these different colors just because I want to see how it turns out. And this just has the, like, the little flowers in the center and some circles on here. And these masks are so nice. They clean up really nice with just water. Ooh. Fun. And now we're going to use the Berry Burst, and we're just going to add, we'll see if it works. Whoops. We'll see what this gives us. Oh yeah, that'll work. Because this goes, these spots here go where there hadn't been any color before. And I'm gonna do some nice, true color on here and really let it pop. Oh, I like that. All right, so let me just rinse this off so you can see how it looks. Just with water. I showed this one other time not too long ago, but that's just cleaning it with water. So even though this is a red-based ink, it came all the way clean, really. There's nothing, no color, no pink color left at all. All right, so now I need to trim down this layer to put it on a card base. So I'm gonna put a Post-it note on here, I think. So I can mark where we lined this up so that it's kind of in the center. Because that way all I have to do is put that mask up into the corner. So let's just trim this down. I should have trimmed it to 4 and 5 1/4 to start with, but I didn't. So when my centering was off a little bit, I could have just adjusted it by trimming that down. So let's say we go this way on the Lost Lagoon. All right, so I have that open like a hot dog. We can put this on here with our little cocoa maybe. And let's do I don't know. We'll just see what the ribbon looks like. We may not use it. We'll see. Oops. It might be too fancy for a casual hot cocoa kind of card. We'll see. I don't know, what do you think? Maybe over here. And then if we had, maybe I should move this over a little bit more. So, what do you think? I think that's kind of fun. And then we could use some rhinestones and bling it up a little bit. If I can get these open, this is a brand new pack. I like to slip mine open on the left side because I'm left-handed. And then I can just slide them out. All right, let me get this out of the way. And I'm gonna get a berry burst blend. So if you're gonna color your rhinestones, you need to use the alcohol markers. Let's just see how those look. Put a couple of layers on there. I think we'll go over here. Maybe up there. What do we think? Does that look enough like a snowflake? It's a shame to cover that all up because that turned out really pretty. But I think that would work. So let's see what it looks like if I was to do it on the Lost Lagoon. It almost looks kind of Nordic somehow. Oh, so that shows the snowflake a little bit more. Landscape or portrait, what do you think? And maybe not even, I don't know, I think that bow does kind of add a little wispiness to it. So let's move this all over to the crumb cake. I like them all. What do you think? Which one's your favorite? Let's do, I kind of like this one on here maybe. Because I think on the crumb cake one, maybe I will, see if we do this. I might do the early espresso for that one. So let's go ahead. I think I'll put that together in a minute. Let's just play with another layer. And then I will finish these probably sometime tomorrow after my vendor market and after. Thank you, Mama Juju. They did turn out really cool, I think. We have the new baby that I did this frame for. This was part of last night's project. It's got a little rough edge there. The baby's gonna get baptized tomorrow, or christened, I guess is what they call it. So let's see if we're doing I want to make this light. I think I want to use the Lost Lagoon on that layer. Let me just go get a wet wipe. So I don't have to worry about rinsing it and drying it. But I'm using a different color and I don't want those colors to smudge. All right. So let's start with the Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to start dark in the center and move my way out. Okay. Lost Lagoon. And then I think if we do, that had to have been the Pretty Peacock. We'll do Pretty Peacock again. Just making sure I got the right color going on here. I think ink blending is my favorite technique because you can make it go from light to dark and change up the colors. It's very forgiving. Oh, I like that too. All right. Next, we will do crumb cake again. I guess I did these out of order because this is number 1. I did them out of order. Here I thought I was changing the colors up so much and I guess I didn't. I ended up doing them the same. Figures. Normally I would start with the lightest color, but this will kind of mute the other colors, I think, with the crumb cake on top. We'll see how it looks. We'll be rebellious and just go out of order. And see, that looks different from the first one. So it's a little more muted. Of course, I did the crumb cake a little darker, I think. So when you wipe down your masks, we're going to do this one in Lost Lagoon next time, I think. We're going to try to change them up. I'll just do one more. I probably should have rinsed that one because that's pretty dark, but that's all right. And I think we just have this one with the Berry Burst. Where'd it go? Nothing wrong with being wild, right? Following directions is sometimes overrated. So Mama Juju, I'm sorry you don't have anybody to chit-chat with. Nobody else is chiming in. Oh, I got a little bit of Berry Burst on my brush for my other color. This one's Lost Lagoon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, that's Lost Lagoon. That's Pretty Peacock. All right, let's see how this one looks. I need to trim this down too. Yeah, if you've had a long day and you're tired, who wants to chit chat, right? Did you do a live tonight? Because yours is normally at 10, if I recall correctly. So maybe we put that over there. I almost hate to cover up all that snowflake because it's so pretty. There's a mosquito flying around here. They're so annoying. I think I'll do that. Show a little bit more of that snowflake. How's that? Does that look silly? Let's do another bow with that balmy blue and see what that looks like. Oh, can you see that mosquito flying around? Oh, I got him. Thank goodness. All right, wipe off the old fingers there. He was really annoying. At least he's not buzzing around my head anymore. The mosquitoes, I tell you, man, when I open the door to take things outside to put them in my vehicle for tomorrow, there was like an army of them just waiting to fly in the door. I'm like, how did you know I was even going to open this door? Oh, do the ribbon on the side there. Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, we'll save this for the other one. That's a good idea. Where'd it go here? We'll put that there. Oh, I didn't even think of that. See, that's why you're here. All right, let's get this out of the way. This is a really sheer ribbon, so I'm just going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on here. Our mosquitoes have been so bad this year, and then we had a real hot, dry spell, and they seemed like they were kind of behaving. And then we got some rain again, and it got really humid. And now they're really little, the ones that we have right now, but they're vicious. And our granddaughter is, oh, she is more sensitive to them than me. And I thought I was sensitive to the mosquitoes, but she gets huge welts when she gets bit by a mosquito. She's not been stung by a bee, but those mosquitoes, man. She said to me that he bit her, and it's like she has another ankle on the side of her knee, is what she told me. And it was really big. It was big and bright, angry pink. So we'll bring this in a little bit here. This ribbon is really sheer. But that's kind of fun. I like it. What do you think of that? I think what I could do, here we go. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to color this Berry Burst. Because we can color ribbon pretty much any color we want, even if there's already some color or tint on it. We had some soft seafoam ribbon, which was a really light green. We had some balmy blue and white variegated ribbon. I could make that any color I wanted. It was really pretty cool. And when I use my alcohol blend, of course, I'm using the side of the brush tip because I don't want to break it. Let me get those tweezers. My fingers are all inky already, but we're just going to wave the flag here. So I'm going to take this off of here. And I can save that for another one. But let's do this. I think it might be a little off center here. And then I just need one more little piece. Even that's pretty though, even without the knot on it. Oh, that was such a good idea, Mama Juju. Very good idea. I like it. Let's cut another piece and do that knot and see how it looks. Let it dry off a little bit. It's still just a little damp, but it's alcohol. It'll dry pretty quickly. I think I want to put the other one over the top. Did I do that right? I want to try to get it to there. I think that's what I want to do. Because I wanted to get it to where it will automatically kick in to the inside of the card. I have another way that I do this too. Let me show that to you once. All right. I like it with the Berry Burst. That's very fun. So let's see. Let's tie that a little more snug. And then I'm going to show you one other way that I do that. Let's do, where'd my little bow go for this one? Oh, there. So there's 1, 2, and then let's do this one a little different. And then I'll show you another way to do that knot. not the same. So let's do this with a lot of, I'm going to scooch that over by hand because it's not quite centered again. So I'm going to do a couple of shades of crumb cake here. So I intentionally wanted it a little darker in the center. That got a little darker than I wanted. That's all right. It's going to turn out just fine. All the others did. I love these decorative masks. All right, so there's that one. And now mask number 2. I'm going to use, oops, I got to move it over a little bit again. I'm going to use crumb cake again. And there we go. We'll see how this looks. And then I think what I want to do is, let's use some of the Lost Lagoon. And I'll see if I can get it on some of these little like heart pieces here. Without getting it anywhere else. It's kind of the beauty of these smaller brushes as opposed to the big brush. You can get some of these smaller areas. Hello, Fifi. Yes, you did barely make it. I'm winding down on the third version. All right. That looks kind of cool. All right, let's get the Pretty Peacock next. I can get rid of my foam maker thing. And I want number 3. And that's going to be fine. So we'll move that over. Lost Lagoon. Well, thank you, Fifi. We're using some new decorative masks and a stamp set I thought was retired, this More Than Autumn. The bundle was retired, but the items, the stamps and the dies are still available. So that's what we did the little mug and the cream with, or the cup. I guess it's not a mug. And we embossed, so now we're doing the blending. And we're doing the crumb cake one this time. So I'm just kind of playing with the colors to see how it goes. And I'm going to go over these pretty good because I want the Pretty Peacock pretty vibrant. Okay. Ooh, nice. And then we're going to do the Berry Burst again, just to give it that pop of color. Yeah, that stamp and die set was awesome. I made a while back these little K-cup caddies. So I might do that again. The masks are Snowy Delights. Yes, they are. And obviously I didn't glue these together yet, so I kind of had a little oops. Okay. So we'll put that back there. Hopefully you can see those. All right, and this will be a little straighter there. All right, so let's do our berry burst on here. Get some of my debris out of the way. Well, thank you. That caddy is fun to make too. I may do that later. But $12. Are the masks $12? I don't remember. I do not remember. All right. Last mask. And I'm just picking up some of the ink from the edge here. And then I'm going to rinse this off again and we'll see if it's picked up more of the pink since it's sat. Yeah, the sentiments are so fun on that set. All right, so I'm just going to rinse this off quick and see. Oh, that is fun. And again, look at how well that just rinsed. Just water. And it came all the way clean, so there's no pink on there at all. So, Mama Juju, have you looked at your mini catalog yet? And if you have, what is your favorite thing? I'm going to rinse these others off quick. You're looking through it now? Oh, I thought there was a lot of cute things, and there's going to be a bunch of new online exclusive items as well. Now, Mama Juju, you're not a demonstrator, are you? Or are you for Stampin' Up? Because if you're not, then you don't get to see the new online exclusive yet because we're in a pre-order until the 3rd. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff coming with online exclusives too. And I lose track what's online exclusives and what's in the catalog sometime. Hopefully one day next week I can go through my mini catalog and my annual catalog. I'm so behind on that. And mark the things that I've already ordered. I like to highlight them in my index for the paper catalogs so that when I see something I really like, I don't order it a second or a third time. The squirrel is adorable. And I wasn't that impressed with it in the catalog. It's like, oh, it looks a little hokey. But then one of our Stampin' Up! People shared a project that she had made, and it was adorable. I haven't ordered it myself yet, but I might have to. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, all of my masks are clean. And then I think we just need to do that sentiment one more time on that early espresso. Let me put the masks away. Oh, I didn't slice this open. That's odd. Usually I do that right away. Yeah, I don't worry so much if it's online or in the catalog, because I rely on the online to see when things are available and if I'm going to order it anyway. So it's just how people shop and peruse, I guess. All right, so now I opened up my masks too so that they can just slide out the side. All right, so let's close up all my inks. I probably should have done that ahead of time. Luckily, I didn't get ink on myself. And then let's do the embossing buddy again. I'm not going to use that foamy blue. All right. And we want, this calls for hot cocoa. Get that hopefully kind of straight there. Yeah, I do like marking it off in the catalog once I got it because, as I mentioned, you know, my problem is that I find something I like and then I forget that I ordered it, and then I order it a second time. I almost ordered something a third time once because I couldn't find it, and I'm like, I thought sure I ordered this. But it was while we were doing, I think while we were doing our edition or shortly after. Yes, that squirrel does have a punch. That's what made it so blasted adorable. All right, so there's that. And we'll heat this up again. We do have the online exclusives. Stampin' Up! Is giving us either an Excel. No, they're giving us a flyer now again. I think I saw that in one of the last video announcements. I think Heather was sharing it so we can kind of personalize it. Oh, I was going to say, where did this magnet come from? But it came from my Stamparatus. So let me get rid of these. But if there's a flyer that we can print off, even if it's several pages, you know, we could share that with people and they could mark that off. Yeah, more than autumn. Yeah, hopefully you'll find it because that is just, there's a lot there. And like I said, there's 23 dies here. Amazing. All right, let me get the Stamparatus out of the way. Put my magnet back on there. And then let's trim this down. Yeah, I was so busy getting ready for that craft fair, vendor fair, whatever. I just was clueless what I was going to make tonight, so I'm glad this is working out all right. I'm watching in the upper theater room. Hi, Vicky. Love your colors. I thought I heard one of the daughters got in trouble. Yes, that was some time ago. And she was not one of the family that was involved in the business. So just very unfortunate. I don't know all of the details. And it's kind of like a personal family thing, but I know Shelley was really, really broken up about it. You know, how can you not be broken up about your child getting into some trouble? So it is definitely a shame. And I think there were children involved. Yeah, there was, because I think there was, I don't know how old the children are or were, but all right, so that's going to go like so. Now, what I need to decide is if I put, we could just do that basic beige because we don't have an early espresso. I could try to do some pecan pie and see how dark I can get that. Oh, and I was going to put marshmallows on here too, but I guess I didn't need to do that. I had the marshmallows ready just in case. All right. So we can put this bow over on this cardigan. I'll get these all attached and I'll put pictures on my Facebook page. Let's try the pecan. Was that her name? Fifi? I'm not familiar with, I don't even know what her name was. All right, and I think I need to put some gems on that one with the berry burst. So let's, Shanna Gardner, right? What's the Bridegan, Bridigan? I'm not sure what you were typing there. So I'm gonna make this a little bit longer. I don't remember, I probably don't need it that long, but I have extra. Yeah, I knew there was something with the ex-husband and all of that, but I figured it wasn't my family and probably not my place to speculate. Oh, okay. Oops. We might not use this ribbon, but we'll see. It might work. And I probably could switch this to pecan pie, but I was going with the colors that were on the Lost Lagoon. So the Lost Lagoon, the Pretty Peacock, the Crumb Cake, and the Berry Burst. That's how I got this color combination. So this might not end up dark enough. But I'll still show you how I do that other knot. And I definitely didn't need it this long. But that's all right. So which color do you like the best? The Lost Lagoon, the Crumb Cake, or the Pretty Peacock? I'm going to try to get this darker. Maybe I should have done this one with the berry burst too. Yeah, that was quite a few years ago at this point. Hopefully the family can find some healing without having to relive it all. Oops, what did I do with my cap? Oh, there it is. Oh, got it, Vicky. I've not noticed anything about it, so. All right, well, enjoy your theater time. You can always catch this on a replay. I think maybe the berry burst. Yeah, it seemed like it happened quite a long time ago. You'd think all of that would be done by now. So should I go with the pecan pie? Yeah, she wasn't involved in the company as far as I'm aware. She was kind of off on her own. So it had nothing to do with the business. So do we go with the pecan pie, and do I change this to a pecan pie piece? Or do I try berry burst? You like it with the pecan pie? Because I'm thinking I'll need to do a different label then. I'm thinking. So let's just take a look with it with some berry burst. I'm just going to go like that because I don't think I need it as long as I had it. But I'll show you how it works. And I've been doing it a long time. This other method to do that flagged knot, I don't even remember where I first saw it. All right, let's let that dry a little bit. You like my fancy drying method? I could get my heat gun, but then it makes noise again, and my granddaughter actually, her room is right above where my craft area is. She's a pretty good sleeper though. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna take a round item. I just happen to have a lot of take your pick tools around because that is like my favorite tool, aside from decorative masks. And I'm going to tie a knot on here. Just a double knot so that it doesn't go anywhere. So this would be like the back side, right? So now as we shimmy this off of our circular device, and you want it to be thick enough, you'll see in a minute, but you want it to be something more than like just a pencil, all right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ribbon snips, and I've got this loop on here. I'm just going to make a diagonal cut. And look at how pretty my knot is. So now instead of having kind of the back side of the knot showing on the front, I'm going to have the pretty side of the knot showing on the front. So this We will still tuck this in. And we will tuck this side in. And what do you think of that? So we've got the brown or the berry burst. I'm thinking berry burst really gives it some pop. So the other thing that I have is these are new streaked dots. Those would be fun maybe on this one with the brown highlights. Yep, berry burst is the winner. Winner, winner. I shouldn't talk about chicken dinner. You know, it's almost 1:30 in the morning and I'm hungry. All right, so I will go ahead and get all of these put together sometime tomorrow or Sunday, because it's just now Saturday morning here. I know, whoops. I know some of my Australia people are further ahead, and our Finland people are further ahead in time than we are. But there's those. I'm going to put some berry burst rhinestones on this one too. I think I'm going to use all little ones. And I think this one needs more than 3. Let's see. Thank you very much. Feel free to case them. Share my video. Like my video. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed. I appreciate all of that. And I'm going to put some of these right on where these other stenciled or masked dots are. Yes, thank you, Phoebe. Like and subscribe. I'm going to go with the bigger ones here. So there's 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I think I'm going to go over here and add a couple more for the extra bling over there. What do you think? Oh my gosh, Fifi, I missed that whole part of the conversation there. Holy cow. What a tragic way to end his life, too. That is a weird connection, Fifi. No wonder you are so familiar with it. So these I'm going to put on this one. I'm going to put a couple over here because they look cocoa-y-ish to me. I don't think I want to do that. On the cup or on the white? Maybe we'll put a little bubble in the cup. Ah. That is so sad, Fifi. You've had some tragedy in your life. But then you're resilient. It's amazing what we can get through, don't you think? All right, so there's those. Yeah, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. My sister-in-law, my husband's brother's wife, so my brother-in-law's wife, sister-in-law, either way, she lost her mom when she was in her early teens also. And it still affects her even now, and she's got grown kids and she just became a grandmother. So, you know, it changes a person. So, well, thank you all for stopping in and crafting with me tonight. I appreciate all of the suggestions. Thank you, Mama Juju, for the suggestion of the knot. Collaborating with the Berry Burst. You either sink or swim. That's right, Fifi. All right. Thank you all for popping in. And like I said, I will post these on my Facebook page. I know somebody mentioned the other day about you can leave comments on YouTube or you can leave pictures in community, but I don't have my community turned on. And when I did a little checking on that community feature, the algorithm changes for how YouTube shares your videos. So I am not planning on activating that community option. So if you make a card similar to this and you want to post a picture so you can share it with me, I love to see what people are making. Go ahead over to my Facebook page. You can follow me there too. That way, if you miss a live, you can go and see what some of the projects ended up being as well. So I appreciate the support, and I'll see everybody, I don't know, maybe in about 22 hours or so. In the meantime, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your night or day, and happy crafting. We'll see you next time.